So good morning. Welcome to our practice today. So this is the last live class for a couple weeks, and then you get recordings which you can just pretend are live classes because that's how it works for some. So some people are still getting clicked in. I will give them a moment longer to do that. What you will need today, a towel or a strap. If you have a strap, it's better, but if you don't have a strap, I'm going to demonstrate with a hand towel because that's what will work. So we will start with our centering, we'll finish with our Shavasana, and in between we're going to really work to open up the shoulders, and we'll also work, to open up the hips a bit. So that's the plan, Stan. You can come to Samastiti on your mat. I'm going to sit on my blanket. We'll also do some sit and stands just to see if we still consider stand. So you can sit Sukhasana. You can sit on your knees, which I think I'll be doing a lot of in Japan. I'll be sitting on my knees this way. Thank goodness that's still in my vocabulary. So here I sit, here you sit mindfully. So address the Mula Bandha, the action of Uddiyana, and the lifting of the spine. This to help you sit more comfortably. And if, as you're sitting here, it doesn't feel so comfortably, feel free to switch. Get on a blanket, get on your block, do whatever you need to do. Hands can either be grounded or in a yoga mudra. Any finger to a thumb or collection of fingers, they all work. And then as you sit, let's wander through our body with our eyes open, lowered, or closed, and observe how the body is feeling. Every day we awaken to our body and it is what it is. So the day before has had an effect on the day following. And so if we can live well today, it should serve us well tomorrow, my thinking. If there are things going on in your body, your neck, your shoulder, your back, your knees, your ankles, any of those things, be mindful. Yoga isn't about putting you in pain, but helping you to work through those pains to live with more grace and ease into your being. Once you've wandered through the body, turn your attention to your breath. That breath that's always there like a friend, to comfort, to calm, to listen. So if you listen to your breath and it responds, see if you can deepen the breath, one, by pressing in through the action of Uddiyana to expel the air, and two, allowing the belly to open and freedom to breathe in. And if you have an auditory component, be it you need to breathe through the mouth and not just the nose, or if you know Ujjayi or Ujjayi breathing, you can add that element. Be aware of the depth of your breath, the speed of your breath, and if it makes you feel a little lightheaded, to back off of that depth. And then the last thing to consider is your body's own natural patterns. Where do you hold tension? Some of us hike up our shoulders and hold it in our neck and shoulders. Some hold it in our backs. So kind of feel loose and free. Begin moving your head a little, maybe moving your shoulders around a little bit. And then flutter your eyes open, and as you open up your eyes, also open out your arms. So your space may be what you're used to or a little different, so just be mindful of this space. Let the arms lift, join the palms together, and then with the hands at the heart, we get off to a good start by adjusting our attitude to one of gratitude. So many blessings. I know there's plenty to be cranky about, but let's go to the blessings and it will improve our day. then I want you to once more reach those arms to the side and adjust your seating. So if you need to not be on your bum or not be on your knees, feel free to shift around. This one, we're going to simply reach our fingers to the edges of your space, the walls or wherever you are. So as you reach, you don't have to go to the same side of me. You'll reach to one side, and then you'll reach to the other side. So this may flare up some stuff in your back. So this is just bringing you awareness to how important the bandhas are. So while you're doing this, and if you do feel a little bit in your back, tighten up through that belly more and see if that helps. Find your breath supporting. So depending on how you're sitting, you may feel like you are going to tip over. So you just feel that core come to your rescue. Pause in the center, let the arms come down, and you're just going to lean forward and lean back. So without holding onto your legs, you put yourself into that sense of vulnerability by leaning back, like, oh my, how far can I go before I actually go? Leaning forward. So lead with your heart, not with your head. And pay attention to maybe your breaths. I would say maybe when you lean back is when you want to breathe out to support it, and when you go forward, breathe in. Now to play with this a little bit more, you can make it easier reaching the arms forward when you're leaning back, conversely letting your arms go back when you're leaning forward. You can make it a bit more challenging by crossing your arms over your heart when you lean back, and be careful with your back as you lean forward and reach the arms outward. So it doesn't matter if you're doing the arms or just let them stay by your side. It's just some variations that you might want or need. And we'll do this once more. Go into the back and go into the front. I'm just showing different ways so you don't have to, whoa, do the same thing as me. Okay, go ahead and sit on your bum if you're not there already, and load back onto your hands and put your feet up. Now, if you don't want to do this on a blanket or whatever you're sitting on, you can pull it out. This is the one where we're going to drop our knees side to side. So I'm leaning back, pretending I'm at the beach. I'm dropping my knees from side to side. I usually do this pretty slowly in the beginning because sometimes it can pull into my back in a way that I'm not too sure about. How about the front of your shoulder? The shoulder on the side that you're leaning from. And then we hold our legs center and part the knees, bottom of the feet together. Use your hands to walk yourself up. Again, sit on a blanket, don't sit on a blanket. And then sit the self up nice and tall. I have my hands behind, and I'm going to slowly move them forward. You can do them simultaneously, but notice that's going to work into your back. So the safer way is one hand coming around. The more challenging way is both hands coming around, doesn't matter. And then use those hands to help you get up a little taller. So we're just going to do a little hinging, that more forward and backward motion. And you may look like this. This may be you, because that's just where your hips go. And you know what? You get to be you. So the reason I do this is so I want you to know that when you hinge forward, that's a way to protect your low back when you go into Uttanasana. So I've hinged forward. Now I will let myself bow down. Could be as little as just looking at your feet, or it could be feeling your head go a little further, and some people just put their heads on their feet because that's just how they're made. So in this forward fold, you're going to feel a sense of calming, perhaps a breath more to the back side of the body, and then gently move your head a big yes, nodding it, and then moving your head a no. Go ahead, place the chin on the chest, tighten through the belly, roll back towards your tailbone, and then slowly straighten up your spine so you feel that you're growing from the earth to the sky. Go ahead and fold those legs up, and you'll put them out in front. So you can still see my feet there. I won't turn sideways. Feel free to use your hands behind to help sit up nice and tall. If you say, you know, I'm good, I don't need my hands back, you can have them by your side. And yes, there is this thing where I go buns away. If you feel that's just where, once you do it, it's just, you always have to do it. So sitting with your feet extended, lifting nice and tall. See if you can spread the toes. Last week, I believe we worked on a lot of work with the feet. So I want you to spread the toes apart. And how about that pinky toe? Is that the most challenging toe to separate? And then without pointing the toes, push the ball of the foot forward like you're pressing on a gas pedal. If it doesn't cause your feet to cramp, go ahead and think of lowering the toes toward the floor. And then pulling the toes up and flexing the feet. So I've got full range of motion through my feet, stretching all the way through the feet and the toes and pulling back. And yeah, there could be a little popping and cracking. If this causes cramping for your feet, just push the ball of the foot and forego the toes. That's one of the wonderful things about yoga is working in the bare feet, because feet get funky, and unlike hips and shoulders and knees, there's no replacements for the feet. So I want you to flex the feet. Use the hands behind you. Lift up the chest and lean a little forward, kind of like when we were in Bandha Konasana. Take one hand, and it won't matter which one. Bring it from behind you and reach to the opposing leg. So it looks like my left hand is reaching to my right foot towards you. And I've not rounded, so my head is not dropped. I'm still leading with the heart. If you want to play with this, if you round the head back, you'll feel a change in the back of the legs. If you stick your chest out a little more, you'll feel a pull in the back of the legs. And release. Bandhas, get very, 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 very tall. Now use your other hand and reach out and over. Pull your toes back. It makes it easier to get a foot. If you can't get the foot, that's okay. Grab at your leg. And then there's a tendency to round, so almost feel like my hand is behind your back and pushing your chest forward. And you should feel back of the leg, could be more calf, more hamstring. Feel free to sit on your yoga mat if it helps. Come back up. We'll do this one more time on each side. So notice there's a little rotation. Breathe in, get up. Breathe out, pull the toes back, reach out. So working through that back side of your shoulder. And if you can, creep the hands a little further. So if you were on your shin, maybe you're down towards your ankle. If you're at the toes, maybe you're on the bottom of your foot. And the hand behind you on the floor is there to support your back. So my right hand on the floor is necessary for me. Go ahead and release. Be with your breath as we go on to the other side. Flex the foot, other arm comes up and over. Heart goes forward like a Uttanasana. See if you can get a little further down that foot. And then either think of pulling back if you've got the foot, pulling, oh yes. And I prefer one arm at a time to one leg at a time. Return back center and go ahead, shake out the legs. I'm not fond of the twos. This is just not one of my easier ones to do. Okay, easy twist. So pull your left foot up. You can leave it inside the right leg or you can cross it over. It depends how your hips feel. The knee that's up, so if you're opposite of me, that's fine. Use the opposite arm to hold that knee up. You can change from a hand to an elbow to an upper arm as you wish. That left hand lends support to supporting the back. This is not a long hold, but draw that shoulder on the back arm back, and then just look off to the side. Take in all the surroundings of what you see. Maybe turn your head and look a little behind you if that's available. And return back center. If you cross the leg like I did, bring it back inside the leg and let the knee fall down. Hands behind, chest up. Uttanasana, so we bring that heart forward. Feel free to leave the hands behind and just do this. If you reach for the foot and then all of a sudden you go back, that wouldn't be what we're looking for. We're looking for this, that yes, you can bring your hands forward, and yes, perhaps you do reach for the foot. If you're not feeling the back of the leg and more of your back, I'm a little suspicious that maybe you were here, and then when you went to the foot, you went to this. So try and keep that neutral spine, as I'm fond of saying, and you feel a little more opening. Tighten through your belly and roll yourself up. This is all going to help us as we get in further to our practice. All right, left leg out, right knee up. You can leave it there. You can put it there. Hold on with the opposite arm. Support with your back. Get tall first. Draw the right shoulder back or the other shoulder back. Get very, very tall. Lift up. You can use the hand. You can use the elbow. You can use the upper arm. And then maybe turn and look a little bit behind you in a good way. Focus with the breath. And return back center. And as we did on the other side, park that foot inside the extended leg, let it fall out. Sometimes the extended leg also falls out. So keep the toes up, hands behind, chest up, and then that hinge. Don't be surprised, the other leg may feel a little different. Mindfully bring yourself up. And from here, let's see if we can stand up just by taking that extended leg in front of the knee that was bent down and bring ourselves up to a seated position, a standing position. I'm going to see if I can raise up the lines a little bit. Oh, that's all I can do is a little bit. The sun is shining here, and it blinds me if I open the light. If I open it too far, so I'm going to clear my mat. And you can stand anywhere on your mat so you can see me. You can be at the front or wherever. I want you to grab your strap or your towel. If you have a strap and it's a traditional yoga strap and has a buckle, always hold the buckle in your hand. It will protect you from hurting yourself. If you don't have that kind of strap, then you're good to hold wherever. Now those of us with towels will be limited. So I want us to stand just a little bit wider with our feet for a little more stability. And then you want to hold the strap, probably if you have a strap wider than your legs. So let's just say my towel went out to here. You might be more comfortable with this. Or if you had a stretchy band, that might work. So we're going to do first option all together, and then those with the strap can do a little bit more than those of us with a towel. Bandhas, yes. Chest up, yes. Raise the arms up, yes. So just because my arms go up, make sure you're not dumping into the hips to make that happen. So feel that your arms are lifting more skyward. You're going to bend the elbows and put the strap or the towel behind your head. Don't move the head forward. Then the arms will come back up and go all the way back down. So we do it with breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, elbows back, towel down. Inhale, arms up. And lower down. Pay attention to the torso as it may shift around. Inhale up. Exhale back. So you should begin to feel the front or the interior of your shoulder. So be gentle, anybody who has a shoulder issue. If you don't want to put the strap or towel behind your head, don't do it. Okay, this is where things will go different. Those of us with a towel are going to be letting go of one end. Those of you with the strap will continue to hold both sides, but you may need to slide your hands wider. So the arms will go up. They're going to go all the way behind you. So not many of us could do that with a towel. So you're going to let go, come all the way down, and grab the towel behind you here. If you've got your strap, you hopefully went over the top. Even at that, it can be a little challenging. So then as you try and bring it back up, those of us with the towel will have to let go until we can get it at the top and lower down. Let's go a few more times, up and around. And then coming back up and over. So if you're using a towel like me, you notice I'm changing arms. If you have a strap, doesn't matter. Careful, this isn't happening because there is a propensity to do this to make it work. And up, and we'll go one more time. I guess I could do it if I cheated a bit. And last time, up and over. And back up. See, it could bring it up in a really weird way. And then just let your neck move from side to side since you brought a little warmth in there. And then nod the chin and lift the chest a few times. Okay, walking those feet together. So this is half of Gomukhasana. That's a mouthful. Happy cow face pose. I'm going to turn my back to you, not to be rude, but just so you can copy me and we can all do the same. Hold, if you have a buckle, the buckle in your right hand. Place the right hand up onto your shoulder, freeing your left hand so the right hand positions the elbow so that it's not flaring, it's drawn up next to your face. And this is not the issue arm. So I have this arm up. Stay with me as I release. So my thumb is down, the palm is facing backwards. Bend the elbow and put your hand on your waist. And there should be a big hole under your left arm. Then slide in until you find the strap or the towel, and then work the hands. And for some of you, you may say you don't need either, until maybe, not always, maybe the hands come together. Check that you've not lost your good stance, that you're still pulling in with the belly and lifting up with the heart. Moving forward, you bend the knees a bit and lean forward. 3 breaths. Slowly release. As you come up, the low arm will come down off first, and then the high arm will come down center second. Yeah. So here's the thing between arms. Some people feel the same on both. I always think that if I'm right arm dominant, that's why my right shoulder is tighter, but that's just me. So I'm going to again turn my back to you because then I can do the other arm, which you'll see is not the same as the first arm. So I have it in my left hand, put my elbow up, help yourself by getting this elbow as skyward as possible. Tadasana, palm back, thumb down, bend the elbow, slide in, find the towel, creep the hands toward one another. Should they come together or not? So you have to breathe into the front of that shoulder behind you, bend the knees, and go forward. And return back up, and it's going to be the low hand that releases first, and the high hand that comes down a second. Yeah, so we will be needing this a little bit later. Yeah, it really helps to, it's artificial. Nobody wants to walk around like this, but it just kind of counterbalances all of this. Like if you try and slouch, you'll say, that's not right. All right, again, using your strap or towel, and again, those with a strap are gonna have an advantage here. So here's my strap, and it's like it's like the pyramid pose, but instead of, so everybody remember pyramid pose, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and this is where we lean out and go over, which is why I stretched our hamstrings. And then if you don't want to use a strap, you can always just go here, and then you can go further. If you have a strap, you're gonna put it under your foot. Now I have a towel, so I can't hold my strap up here, so I'm just gonna let it stay down there, and I'll bend my knees to actually access it. So make your feet parallel, it won't matter which foot is in front. It does feel a little off balance when you do that. So it's not one foot behind the other, it's feet at hip distance and toes forward. Ground into those feet, all parts of your foot. If you have a strap, you're gonna maybe hold them, and again, that buckle is good. So hold on here, and imagine your chest and hips are like headlights. What often happens is people keep weight on the back leg, and as they go forward, the body spins open. Because I want to go further forward, my body said, yeah, well, that's hard, so I'm just going to do it this way. So we really want to benefit by it, by keeping those hips forward, keeping weight both legs, and the back of that front leg will yell at you a lot. Now those with the straps, you're just going to walk your hands. Sometimes you have to put the strap together, walk down, and you lead with the heart, so as you bend those elbows and bring the heart forward. If you are like me and have a towel on the floor, bend your knees so you can get the ends of the towel, and then straighten out. So my chest is out, I'm looking forward, not downward, and I feel weight in both my legs. I'm pulling up on my strap and both legs are straight. So you feel the hamstring and the front leg perhaps. And take a breath. If you have the strap, you can hold on and come up. If you have a towel, you're going to let go. And then rise yourself up. Bring those hands back to your hips. Second part of pyramid pose. Hands on your hips. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the heart up. Some of you are going to look outward. Some of you might want to look a little up. Some of you might want to go all the way up. So go back wherever back is for you. And again, Uttanasana, so pointing those hips forward. If you have the strap, you probably have to bring the hands together. Creep your hands a little further until you can pull that heart forward. Those of us reaching for a towel, find that towel, and then it's that connection to the towel that helps you feel like you're extending forward. So imagine I am pulling your head forward, and that helps you get into the back of the hamstring and hold on to that strap. If you know your knees hyperextend, a little softness in them might be available. And breathe. Looking outward rather than downward. And if you have a towel, you're going to let go. And if you have a strap, you're just going to slide your hands up the strap till the hands come to your hips. And then roll the shoulders back and lift the heart up. Look out, look up, look back. And return center. Time to switch legs. So you have the feet parallel. So how far is the distance? So I used to measure this out by people's feet. That's why it was appropriate. So I usually put like 1.5 feet. So there's 1 foot, and there's probably another 0.5 foot. You can go up to 2 feet. So if you have that strap, here we go. We lead with our heart, not with our head. As I go forward, lifting my hands down my strap, keep leading with the heart. Now we're on the other leg, so those getting the towel, feel free to bend the knees so you can get that towel, and then lift up your chest, look outward, pull the shoulders back so there's a little tension or resistance on that strap. Gazing outward, not downward, beyond your foot anyway. And rising up. Squeezing bandhas as you come up, placing the hands at the hips, rolling the shoulders back, and then going wherever you want. So you can look out, you can look up, you can look up, you can look back. Centering ourselves for the second time. Find the straps, leaning the heart forward. And second time, most of us can grab that towel perhaps. Draw the heart out, draw the shoulders back. Find your breath. Everybody can let go of that strap and towel and then come up. Just put the hands around the small of the back, a little different this time. Roll the shoulders back and do one more back bend or just wait. There is no one way to go. As you release, we're going to step off that strap or towel, and let's set it up off to the side of your mat, wherever that's going to be. And then do either a circle of the hips or a figure eight, whatever. While I pull my pants back up. So just move around as you're moving around. Okay, so side angle pose. Bring your strap back into your hands. If you use the same setup I give you, you may face differently than me, but at least we'll be doing the same thing. So put the strap in your right hand and put your left foot forward and your right foot back to find the warrior position. Left foot forward, right foot back. Left foot pointing toward the short end of the mat, right foot veering off on that diagonal. Go ahead and bend the front knees so as you open into the gray. Take your strap into both hands, and as you inhale, you'll do as we did before, the arms up, and then the leg straightens, and when it comes down to your chest, the knee bends. So going up and going down. What you're doing is practicing the alignment of the front knee so it doesn't buckle in, it goes straight out. Inhale up and exhale down, pulling those elbows slightly back. A couple more times. This time, stay with your knee bent and release the arms, taking the strap in your back hand, also known as your right arm if you're on the same as me. Reach forward, put your front hand elbow on the thigh. So as you look down, you have a foot, above the foot you have a knee, above the knee you have an elbow, above the elbow you have a shoulder. The hand that's hanging out behind you, right hand comes to your left buttock cheek. If you're on the other side, left hand comes to your right buttock cheek. Then you have a little tail. You're going to drop your left shoulder inside your left thigh and let that left hand go under and find the other end of the strap or the towel. Keep that front knee bent. Pull the top shoulder back so your body faces the long end of your mat. Keep dropping the shoulder, keep bending your knee, keep opening the body. Should you need to progress or wish to progress more, you look more up and slightly behind you over that top shoulder. Otherwise, out to the side is fine, so you're not bending forward. Keep the strap in your back hand, your right hand. Come back up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg for reprieve. Take a breath in, bend the right knee again, reach out, lower, get your alignment, because if you come in short, it's really hard to get into proper form. Right hand goes to your left bum, drop your left shoulder down, reach under your left leg with your left hand to find the towel or the strap. Eventually it'll be hand to hand. Pull the top shoulder back, commit to your lunge. Find your breath, find your internal strength. Keep the towel or strap in your right hand, release up to warrior two, keep the front knee bent, yes, 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 yes. Straighten the front leg and rest. One last time. Notice each time you do this, you get a bit better. Separate your feet just a little bit more. Take your left foot forward. There you go. Let's see how that goes. Inhale, right arm up, left arm up. Warrior two. Lean out. Check your alignment, shoulder, elbow, knee, ankle. Right hand to your bum. Drop the left shoulder inside, drop your shoulder first, then reach for the towel second. Pull the top shoulder back. Try not to rest on an elbow, as that elbow eventually goes under your leg. And breathe. One more breath. Keep the front knee bent, come up to that warrior two. Yes, 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 yes. Straighten the front leg, close the arms. Now you have a couple of choices. You can walk your feet together, which you should do, and switch legs. I'm here, so I'm just gonna turn. Now you have the towel or the strap in the other hand. So the other foot, likely your right foot, pointing toward the short end of the mat, and that back foot slightly veered in. It gives you a multitude of options to implore. So I'm gonna bend and straighten the front knee a little. Feel that little pull. And I'm doing that to notice that my tracking of my knee is not buckling in. Hold the front knee bent, lift the arms. Virabhadrasana 2. Bandha's breath. Slip or slide out, lower onto the forearm. Now if you have the strap or towel in your left hand, it comes to your right bum, otherwise turn it around. Drop the right shoulder inside, right hand goes under, find the towel or the strap. Now lean back, because the tendency is to lean forward to get the towel. Once you've got it, take the top shoulder back and either look out or look up. Front knee bent, back leg straight, and breathe. Keep the strap or towel in your left hand. Come back to warrior two with front knee bent, shoulders down, take a breath, and close the posture. So I drop my arms and I straighten the front leg. 1 of 3. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, slide forward, lower the forearm, place that hand on your left bum, right bum. Drop your shoulder under, reach behind, then lean back, because eventually you not only want to look forward, you want to look up over that left shoulder. Stay committed to your lunge and breathe. Back to warrior two. Close the posture. Once more, and be willing to go where your body is going to lead you. Sometimes we are fearful, and if you don't need a strap or a towel, you don't have to use it. So inhale, warrior two. Exhale, slide forward. Drop the arm, put the hand behind your back. Reach under. If you don't have a towel, you find your hand behind you, and then hold. Warrior two, front knee bent. Close the posture. Close your legs. We'll never walk again. Okay, kind of bring yourself centered, and we'll go through a little bit of flow. So I'm going to clear my handy dandy towel off. We'll go through, I go slow. So this will be some chair poses, some open fold, some planks, some chaturangas. Use child's pose if you need. All right, I'm at the front of my mat. Tadasana, always a good start. Be aware of your space as you lift the arms and breathe in. Bend the knees, touch the earth as you breathe out. Lift the chest, drop the hips, and breathe in. Step back into a plank and stay in your plank, either from hands and toes or hands and knees. Looking outward rather than downward. Knuckles are a fair option. Now I want you to imagine there is a tall candle flickering under your belly, and you don't lift very high, but your bum will go up a little bit, and then you'll return back when you think the flame is gone. So lifting and releasing. very small. Maybe think of squeezing a pillow between your legs. Now next time you come to that plank from the knees or the toes, elbows in, chin up, lower yourself softly down onto the mat and relax your toes, collective sigh. Not pushing on the hands, a baby cobra. Reach the arms back, thumbs down, pinky finger up, palms in. Salambasala, you can stay grounded with your feet or lift your feet. Now some people put the arms in front. I find that very difficult for backs, but if you want to reach those arms forward, that would be the classic. Turn your toes under, put your hands under your shoulders, and relax. When you breathe in, lift your hips up by either staying on the knees or lifting up the thighs so you're on the toes. And do the best you can to keep those hips up, and then press up onto the hands so you return to the plank. Right on into our downward dog. Walk the feet forward. Let's keep those knees bent and focus on our shoulders. So we did a little work with our shoulders today. Maybe it feels more accessible. Maybe it feels a little tired. Begin walking your dog so that one knee bends, the other leg straightens. Have both heels come up. Take a breath in. Bend the knees, sit back, look forward. As you wish, you walk, you step or jump your feet to where your hands are at the front of your mat. Bending the knees, holding an imaginary pillow. Find a chair pose. So as those arms come out, feel free to modify with the arms just in front of your chest to go full extension all the way up, to go lower or higher. There is no one chair. I have two chairs in here and they're very different. So I want to feel really grounded because I'm going to go into a standing easy balance pose. Root into your left foot. As you stand up, open your arms to the side, pick up the right heel, anchor your shoulders. If you feel that you can, continue to lift that right foot up. Lean forward, push the right foot back, wiggle it on your toe. Take it deep, drop the arms by your side. As you lift the torso, reach the arms either out in front or let them come all the way up as you wish for the crescent pose. All the way down to your plank, or as we like to think of them, the push-up pose. Again, that candle flickering, so you lift the belly and release the belly, doing that a few times, keeping your focus forward, attentive to your breath. Holding in your plank position from knees or toes, chin up, elbows in, come on down. Once again, baby cobra is all we're asking. Extend the arms back or front. Option to raise the legs, Salambasala. Curl the toes under, bring the hands under your shoulders, relax the back. So get strong for the push-up. Inner thighs squeeze toward one another, knees up or hips up. Press away from the mat, up into your plank, right into your down dog, and adjust your feet. For this down dog, try and address your form, elbows in, hips up. Yes, you can have the knees bent. Still yourself. Breathe in and raise your heels. Breathe out, bend the knees, sit back, look forward, walk, step, or jump as you wish forward. This time, instead of a chair pose, put the hands on or around your calves, bow over and draw together. Because of our preceding work, this may be a little easier than usual, so focus. Bend the knees, release the arms. Hold the arms as you come up to the side. Get your bearings, check in with blood pressure. Root into now your right foot. As the left heel comes up, stay here or continue to lift it up. Tipping forward, reaching back, touch down, but then go a little further. So you're leaning forward. That's always a helpful thing. Bring the arms by your side. As the torso comes up, the arms can go forward and stay forward or continue up overhead. Crescent pose. Squeeze the back knee straight. Down to a plank. This time in the plank, alternate bringing a knee to the same elbow. So it'd be right knee to right elbow, and then left knee to left elbow. Now you're going to do this until you say, well, I'm done doing this, and then you will go to child's pose. So I don't know how many. So you will do what you do, and when you're done, you put your knees down and you come to a child's pose. So you understand that you're building your own strength and you're directing your own sails. Because we can't direct the wind, but we can direct our sails. As you come into your child's pose, restore, renew, come back to the authentic you. Maybe you got your heart rate up a little bit. So we're going to come to our seat, and we're going to need that towel or that strap one more time. We're going to do the Navrasana boat pose. So if you can do this one without holding anything, I would like for you to at least try the towel or the strap. Again, if you're using a yoga strap, hold the buckle, and then let the other end or double it up because you don't need a whole lot of space. So we're sitting, yay. Are you too warm in the sun? No, you're good. All right, so we have our strap or a towel. My feet are apart, not tight together. I'm going to just loop it over the ball of my foot, not the arch of my foot. So take note of how your back can respond. It can be rounded or it can be extended. We want to go with extended. That's why we have the strap. So keeping your strap or towel in your hands, rock yourself back until your feet come up. Find a sense of balance. Project your heart forward rather than sinking back. This is the default, but I want you to pull up out of it. Zip your zipper, gaze outward. If you feel you can, because our legs are ready for it, extend the legs up. Isn't this so much easier than just holding the legs up by themselves? Now you're welcome to do this the 2 more times, but as you bend the knees and come back and sit, I'll explain. The second time you're not going to let go of the strap, but you're going to lessen the grip. So instead of holding tightly with the whole hand, maybe it'll just be your first finger and thumb. So you'll loosen the grip. So as you come and rock back, find that balance, go down in that low zipper. Extend the spine. Remember, the back and the belly work together. That's the core. Extend the feet up now. Instead of holding tightly, hold loose. So you're making that transition. Zip your zipper. Find your breath. Bend the knees. And we have one more time. Guess what this one is? You can let go. If you have a strap with the buckle, make sure you hold the buckle and set it down rather than drop it so it doesn't fall on you. So rock back, extend, and you can let go. And as you come back, Bandha Konasana, bottom of the feet together, lift the spine, and now cascade forward for a sense of calm, which should be welcomed. Rolling yourself up, we'll come down again with the strap or the towel for bridge pose. So I do this one every now and then. It's a more connected chain. If it's too sunny, you can close the blinds. There's a little tab, just pull it down. Okay. So the strap or the towel will go around the ankles. The ankles will be, there's just a little clear tab right in the middle. That's it. You can do the other one if that's better or if you're good. So what will happen is, I know the feet will want to come together, but make sure they're hip distance apart. Even with a little hand towel, I'm able to hold the ends. Because I will tell you, once upon a time, the way we did bridge pose back in the day, everybody grabbed their ankles and did the bridge pose this way. And not many people can do that. But it's a really nice feeling to have this bind. So if you don't like it, you can always let go of the strap or the towel. But go ahead and place it across your ankles. Place the feet hip distance apart, feet parallel, and then just hold the side of the strap. Address your bandhas, and when ready, elevate into the bridge pose. Feel free to tuck the shoulders in and press the hips up a wee bit higher. So this is our inversion. Bringing those hips higher than our heart, higher than our head. If this feels like it's a bit much for your back, put more weight on the elbow and the upper arm and let it do more of the work, because otherwise this is back strengthening. Always a good time to focus on the big belly breath. Go ahead and let go of the strap or the towel. It's just going to lay there for a moment. If you snug the shoulders in, unsnug the shoulders, descend from the upper back, the lower back, the middle back. Now you have that strap or towel around your feet. Let it stay there as you bring your knees in. Then you can grab it again. So you should have the towel or strap in your hands. Your knees are up. Your back says thanks. So we're going to do a traditional twist. Put the strap or towel under your left foot. Straighten the right leg out. Bring the strap or towel inside your left leg so you can hold the strap or towel with the right hand, both ends. And if you're like mine, I mean, it's a lot of towel. So if you twist the towel, it will get a little smaller and it might fit your hand grip a little better. If you don't want to do this, this is just opposite arm to opposite knee. So right now my knee is bent. This leg that I'm holding with the strap or towel will not go to the floor, even though it will want to. So you're pulling the hip back while you're pushing the pushing the foot forward. Take your left arm out to the side. Now the knee is bent, that's up above. I want you to draw it across your body so it'll be moving, and then maybe your right elbow comes down. So you've got a little kickstand, so to speak. Push your foot into the strap or the towel so that the leg is parallel to ground and not falling onto the ground. So this should open into the hip. If you say, I'd rather not use the strap, Karen, the traditional way we do this is hand on the opposite knee, and it's this. This is just a variation. So you can either have the knee or you can have the foot. Remember, if you have your foot in the strap, you push with the foot, but you pull back with the hip. Go ahead, bend that knee. You're going to roll onto your back. You can keep the strap or the towel in that hand. Bring the bottom leg up for the pretzel pose. Now I'm going to add to the pretzel pose. You can still hold behind the leg, but you know that leg can pretty much push in by itself is what I think. Top knee pushes away, bottom leg pulls in. That foot that's closest to you is active. It's not just twisted. You're going to roll a little bit to the right toward the open foot side and feel a little more in your hip. It's like you're going to roll onto your right side, but not quite. Keep pushing the knee in, keep pushing the left knee out, and then roll a little. It should get you into that hip region in a very lovely way. Return onto your back, set your feet down. If you're going to use the towel, if you know you're not going to use the towel or strap, just forget it. You're going to put it in your other foot. I have to turn around, I won't have room. Extend your other leg. Both the towel ends or the strap ends come into the left hand. Right arm goes out to the side. If you're not using that, the knee is bent and you grab outside your right knee. Bring the leg across as you slowly descend, not the foot to the floor, but just the elbow. Pushing the foot outward. And if you're doing this one, it's just this one. So you're making that slow spinal rotation. As the foot is pushing out, the hip is pulling back. Those with tight IT bands may feel this a lot. That wouldn't be uncommon. Gently releasing and letting go of your strap or towel, leaving it on the floor, putting your ankle over your knee and bringing the bottom leg up. Go ahead and reach around as you get settled. Remember, the foot that's on top has got to be active, not sleeping. Push the knee away, pull the knee in, and move a little to what would be your left side if your right knee is on top. Notice the change it gives you. So if you went back and you said, okay, I'm feeling this, now when I roll a little bit, I feel that. So it's just a very subtle variation, a little difference as you roll. And return center. So you're going to keep that right leg in, and you're going to stretch the left leg out. Now the left leg is hovering above the floor. And keep the right knee in, but put your hands on your head or behind your head so the elbows are slightly forward. So bottom leg not touching. And you're going to draw your chest toward the bent knee and hold, and then release a little. So neither foot is touching the floor, but the right knee is held in close to you. So I'm pulling the knee toward my chest and my chest toward my knee, and I'm resting my head in my hands. That should be our mantra. Strong breath. And the next time you're up, bring both knees in, grab them, let your head go down. Move your head from side to side. Yes, we're going to do the other side. This is just the in-between part. So hold on to the left leg, stretch your right leg out, letting it hover above the floor. Lift up your chest, position your hands behind, elbows can slightly veer forward. Again, draw to pull that knee and chest together, holding the other leg up, and release your shoulders back a little. I never really go all the way to the floor. Strong exhale as you draw upward. Release with an inhale. Once more. Hold it up, bring both knees in. Grab those knees, head goes down. Relax your neck by moving your head. Feet come down, knees bent, the width of your mat, so you can feel with the bottom of your foot, perhaps where the edge of the mat is. This is our windshield wipers. Be very careful and go very slowly as both knees gently drop toward one side, maybe a little more. And when you're ready, you go to the other side. So this is just about you exploring you. There's a couple things that happen with this. The leg that will not go to the floor, which would be the inside leg, will give you the iliopsoas, the hip flexor stretch. The rotation goes all the way around through the spine and through your side. Bottom leg maybe touches the floor, so surrender. Part of this is being able to learn to relax. If you say, I'd like to just stay and not move, you could do that. Sometimes staying is more valuable than moving. So in yoga in general, we do things a little more slowly, mindfully, so that we can process how it's working for us. Once you end up with both of your legs there, let your feet walk all the way down. Your left foot will move to the left again to find the edge of the mat. Can you feel your left foot at the edge of the mat? Your right foot will come over and go side by or cross. For some people, crossing doesn't feel so great, but if you can just put it by its side. Then float your arms up above your chest. Your left hand will grab the wrist of the right hand. Continue the arms going over your head, and then to create this arch, this curve, this crescent, pull on your right wrist with your left hand and lean to the left, almost like you feel like you're going to the edge of your mat on the left side. If you saw yourself from above, your feet and your shoulders would be at the edge of the mat, your hips and your back would be more in the center, and you'd be that beautiful little curve. To release, let go of the grasp on the hand so the arms will flow out. Slowly move your right leg across to the right edge of the mat. You'll know when you're off of it. Then move your left leg adjacent to the right leg or crossing it if that's better. Once again, the arms go up over your chest. This time the right hand grabs the left wrist. The arms float over the head. And then a little pull with the right hand on the left, and you feel that lovely opening upon your left side. Nothing should hurt. Go to your breath. First, release the arms. Then release the left leg and bend your knees up so you can roll to your side, gently moving yourself up to a seated position. And we'll do a few cats and cows. Once you come up, it's like, oh, my blood pressure is all changed. So as I come to all fours, if you need extra padding, you can double up your mat. Palms or knuckles. So this is your cat and cow. Delight in the cat and cow. So you're not warming up. Usually the cat and cow is done during a warm-up. But I want you to notice how you can apply it to the end of your practice and how satisfying that may be. You may find a fuller range of motion, so explore that with any parameters that you need to take note of. So you use that breath out on the cat. And the cow is the breath in. So go ahead and play with your cat and cow. Make it feel delightful, kind of putting things back where it belongs. If you know you're supposed to modify in terms of arching or extending the spine, you can still be moderate and do that. The tightening of the belly during the cat pose is certainly worthwhile, I think. And give yourself one more. So this is not the pigeon pose, but it's often what I see people do. So take one knee forward of where it already is, and take the other leg back. You can wiggle it or slide it, however it gets there. So the front knee is going to be rather compressed. If you have issues with knee compression, I will give you an option in a minute. So I'm kind of sitting on my heel back here. Let the heel come just a little inside and see if your foot now can rest on your pelvis. Think of me putting my hands on your low back and pressing your hips downward. So if you have a knee issue, you're going to be up like this on your knee, no compression, and you're going to drop that hip of the extended leg behind you. That way we're all doing the same thing. As you release back out of it, come back to all fours. So you move the other knee forward and the other foot down. Sorry. It's always bad when the teacher doesn't get the phone silenced. It is a call for my mom's carekeeper, so. Okay, front knee is bent. I've moved the foot inside. And I'm pressing the hip downward. Yummy. Again, for those who find this too much compression on the knee, come up on the knee, drag the other foot back, and then, push that hip down. Either way you do it, it should feel rather good. And slowly release, and we'll meet once again seated. You can sit on your knees, you can sit on your bum. We'll just stop here for a moment. And as you're able, put those hands up behind the head. So I am here, and you are here. This is a bit of neck strengthening. There are a variety of ways to do this. So right now I want you to feel like your head is a wall. It cannot move. And your hands are trying to push it to move, but the head is not going to give way. So I apply pressure with my hands into my head, which remains still. You should feel that the whole center of your body is kind of stiffened and tightened up. And you're breathing. Pretty simple. You could do this seated. Now stop pushing with the hands and relax the arms down for a moment. And the reason I do this, so you don't have to lace the fingers, you can stack the hands. The reason I do this is so this gets like this. Like this. It's just that. It's called gravity. So we forget and all the things that we're doing. You know, we're reading, we're looking, and so everything goes down here. So having some strength in the neck so you can use it more functionally. Second way to do that, again, put the hands behind the head, and if your fingers aren't comfortable, just stack the hands. This time the hands are the wall and your head is trying to push through the wall. Nothing really moves. It is isometric contraction, so please breathe. And go ahead and press the head into the hands, again, feeling that tightening, and breathe. So there is no movement. Your head is not moving back. It's just pressing into your hands. Your hand said you're not going anywhere. Slowly stop pressing with the head, relax the arms, and let the arms float down. So you should feel like your head's not straight. So now try turning it. And go the other way. And then bow the head. And when I look down, it always reminds me to tuck in my bandage. And then lifting the chest. So I don't ever have us head drop back, but you can drop your head back if you want. If you just lift your chest, I think that serves the purpose well. And that leads us to Shavasana, a few moments of quiet. You may lay as you wish on your back, traditional corpse pose. You could lay on your belly with a little pillow. You could lay tucked up with your knees in on your side. You could put something under your knees. I think you're warm in the sun. Okay. You can put your feet up the wall. Some people like to put their bum up and put their feet up the wall. So you can take yourself to wherever it feels appropriate for you, knowing that when you lay down on your back, sometimes that puts undue pressure. So if you put a pillow under your knees, that makes it a little nicer. So you get to just lay in a way that's comfortable for you. All we really want to do is turn our attention away from the distractions of the mind. And usually that's pretty easily done when we practice yoga. We're doing this pose and that pose. And we have to focus on those poses and be aware of our breath and all those things. And that really occupies your mind, or so it should. So now we void the mind of anything from the body. It just feels relaxed and heavy. And in these quiet moments, inevitably thoughts do bubble up, but just try and push them away and wait for the singing bowl. Let this time be yours. So you deepen the breath, wiggling the fingers and toes to awaken the calm and quiet in the body and awaken the mind to take in these thoughts for us today. James Lowell is quoted as saying, "A weed is no more than a flower in disguise." What makes a weed different from a flower except the way we view it? A dandelion shows us a sunny yellow flower, in no way inferior to a daisy or a zinnia. Then the flower magically becomes a fluffy white ball, disappearing with the gentlest breeze. Can a zinnia do that? All of us have weeds in our life, difficult tasks, difficult people, difficult times. Maybe we can learn to see these things as flowers instead of weeds and enjoy rather than dread them. So our thought today, I've always enjoyed seeing a field covered with dandelions, and I will try as well to enjoy the metaphorical weeds in my life. I may be surprised at the beauty and charm that I find. So with that said, coming to sit nice and tall, of course mindful abundance, relaxed in the heart, feeling maybe a little more open and with your head on straight, the arms stretched to the side. Join the hands together and we share the word Namaste. Namaste. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and thank you for joining.